everyone, Zero Cool Gamer here, back again with another video, and we're coming here to go ahead and talk about War Scourge characters. And basically, the top 4 teams or 5 teams you could probably use. There's one that's kind of like going all over the place, and you can use them after you get Red Hulk. Hint, hint. But there is characters out there that we don't have beefed up. As mid-game players, we don't have them beefed up. So we try to figure out which characters we can use. And some of the characters I put on this infographic are interesting to say the least. But I did it only because, well, they're the characters that I probably could use. Some of them I haven't beefed up. Some of them I got to use. So we might as well just go ahead and look at them and figure it out from there. Alright, so the top 4 teams you could start off right now for Scourge is probably going to be the Young Avengers, because you could double dip between Bio and Avengers. The next bigger team, I really don't like saying it, but you do got Black Order to go ahead and use as a sack team, so that's really not the best, so But you do got half a Darkhold and throw somebody else in there, or most of Weapon X. And then for skill, you're basically going to get stuck with the Secret Avengers. There's all kinds of other characters you could use, but hey. So the top 4, Young Avengers, probably Young Avengers again, or Bionic. You could use Black Order and then some Secret Avengers for skill and throw some else in there. But if we're going to go more into detail for Bio, you got Young Avengers, you got A-Force, and you got most of Gamma. But you got to wait till you get Red Hulk to go ahead and fill that void left by Red Hulk there. So you can either go ahead and grab Invisible Woman, Phyla, maybe Symbiote Spider-Man, throw them in there, give some little extra help, and then maybe as a sack team, and then come back with Red Hulk and do those bio nodes again with more Scourges. Get more points. It's a really good thing. Get more points. The Avengers, you get a few more. You got, what, 1 extra character or 2. You got more characters there to use, but, you know, the interesting one right now is the Bionic Avengers. Viv is the star of that team, where she just flips everything. She puts out blinds to a whole row of characters, which is an interesting mechanic to say the least. But that does help in terms of the raids, but they were built for raids, not Scourges. So not sure if they'll be too viable, but you can still use the Young Avengers again. Jesus. Well, there goes that. And then you can use the Secret Avengers with a couple of regular Avengers like Thor and Hulk. At least Hulk feeds Thor's passive, so his charges can beef up, so that would be okay. But, you know, the Secret Avengers do need 2 characters, so I did put Hulk and Thor there, so that way Thor can try to get some of his passive off. Maybe that extra speed when Captain Sam puts off his ultimate, maybe that would help. We won't know. And then for a couple extra characters, I did put in Falcon, Miles, and Scarlet. They're not the greatest. Falcon gives extra speed, so maybe Falcon and Captain Sam can work together. It's just weird, but hey, whatever. Miles is there. He can reduce turn meter. He gives some disrupt. Scarlet's there just to go ahead and maybe give a little bit of sustain to any of the characters if something flops out, or use them as a sack character, maybe absorb some ultimates, and then boom, just bring in another team. Now villains. This is crazy. There's a lot of villains here that some can use, and I'm just trying to say that, hey, I'm using all the villains that I could use. Not all of them are built up, but, you know, these are the ones that I feel that are probably going to give the most out of the villain nodes. And usually the villain nodes are pretty easily because you have a ton of choices. But the big one here is you can use full Black Order to go ahead and absorb some ultimates, to go ahead and do some nasty things right away, knock something out, and then maybe bring in most of Weapon X, or probably put, you know, Darkhold with Omega Red, and maybe Emma, or maybe put it in with Lady Deathstrike and Omega Red for the rest of Darkhold there, just to fill out that 5-man team and run right through them. And there's a bunch of extra characters there, but as you can see, that it's just basically based on the best characters that I see from my roster, because I don't have them all built up, but they could prove somewhat useful to maybe to absorb some moves first as, you know, a sack team, and then bring in my main one to go ahead and, you know, destroy them. I do have Dormammu, so that is a, I guess, somewhat positive. He can do some relatively big damage. Doom is relatively good as well. Ultron is still viable, and if there's a few people out there that are putting red stars on him that are going ahead and proving the credence that, hey, he might still be great, basically because of his bots. Speed up, offense up, or, you know, healing up. That's still really, really big in the game. And I put Ultimus, well, as a seat filler. Throw him on a sack team, so that way he can absorb another hit, and maybe they'll go ahead and push it on him and he'll just get wrecked. But hey, he's there just to be there. We got all the big bads at the bottom of the villains, so I didn't want him to feel left out. And then we got skill. Skill, this is gonna feel just like the raids. It's not gonna be great. It's not gonna be interesting to push through with these characters because there's only so many skill characters and some viable skill characters. And Secret Avengers is the biggest one on there, along with Kestrel and Shang-Chi. So that's gonna be my main team that I'm gonna take in. You can try to use maybe Gamora and Moondragon, possibly with Valkyrie and Sif. You know, there's two different synergies there, so at least it gives it better. Echo's there. You might as well use her. I mean, she's been built up because of the Young Avengers in the last couple of Scourges, so you might as well, if you've built her up already, I'd say use her. We got Zemo, who's always great, but he's not good for sustainability, so he needs somebody. He's gonna have to be put on a team where he can get healed up. Otherwise, he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall pretty fast. Killmonger is nuts with damage, especially crit damage. So if you throw him in place of Shang-Chi, if you don't got Shang-Chi built up, Maria's going to make sure he gets a lot of sustain, so then he could just keep snapping off. His crit damage is ridiculous. Corvus and his wife there, well, they got synergy, so on their basic, they can assist each other if you got the T4s on them. You got everything built up. But they're there because, hey, they're skill characters. So you could use them if you got Proxima and Corvus built up. If not, you got Taskmaster. There you go. Boom. Throw in Taskmaster. Taskmaster, and I put Kingpin on there because he got a rework. I don't know when the last time you guys seen somebody that had Kingpin on an infographic, but hey, he's up there, so might as well. So Kingpin's up there because they got to rework with them, and they're relatively decent, but we have been seeing some interesting numbers with Kingpin and Taskmaster together, so they have some synergy now. They could go ahead and blind some people. They give defense up, offense up, so it might be somewhat viable if you do have Kingpin and you do have Taskmaster together. So there's synergy there. So you don't got a lot of characters to choose from for skill, but Secret Avengers, Kestrel, Chi is going to be my main team, and these others are going to be used as sacks to absorb whatever they can and then come in and try to clean that mess up. So all in all, War Scourge characters, you got 4 big teams that you could use. I really don't recommend one, but whatever, it's a team. You got the Young Avengers, you got Bionic, you got Black Order, and then Secret Avengers. So you got some double dipping all over the place, but hey, it's up to you guys to choose. I'm just trying to give options based on, hey, I don't got all these guys built up, but I'm trying to use whatever I can to try to get Scourge, get more points, so that way we can at least somewhat catch up to the big whales and the Krakens, or at least somewhat, because these traits are relatively wow. Just wow. But until the next video, deuces.